RISCOP is a regional organization. In full, it means Regional Schools and Colleges Permaculture Program. And we are actually in 5 active African countries, Eastern and Southern Africa. So we are here in Kenya, in Uganda, Zambia, Malawi, and Zimbabwe. Our project is really focusing, working with young children in schools, and just to establish what we call food forests. Food forests means a garden that has everything. For us, we tell children that's like a supermarket because it has what they need, the requirements they need in terms of healthy food and nutritious food. So it will have fruits, vegetables, and also tubers and some, of course, carbohydrates in it. So we are doing this in schools in the countries I've talked about. We work through SCOP Kenya. SCOP Kenya actually works in about 17 counties in Kenya, and they're very active, all of them working in schools. We encourage young children in schools to actually love agriculture and not look at it like a punishment. What we are actually looking at is actually to ensure that we have such projects in many other counties in Kenya. We actually envisage to get to all the 47 counties. There are many requests, but such a project really requires commitment and also has to ensure that children understand what they have to do. Of course, we call it a whole school approach because we have all the stakeholders in school. The school community has parents, has teachers, and the learners. The projects are actually done on school grounds. So what we do is to actually transform degraded school lands into productive land. And therefore, we're actually contributing to the school feeding programs. And you know, our country also has such programs. So that is the reason why we do it in schools. And we know there's no way learners will be in school hungry. So they have to eat something. So far, so good. We have actually witnessed so many achievements. One of it, which is very, very important, is now schools, children actually love going to school. They enjoy going to school because there's food, they can see food. They're also engaged in ensuring that they know how to plant and grow their food. So we actually have a slogan called grow your own, eat your own in schools, so that children know that food comes from the soil. It doesn't come from the supermarket. We also involve the parents so that they also don't look at it like child labor. They look at it as a very, very good project for the children, not only just good, but a project that will give their children food. So if, you know, most of the time children spend their time in school. So they have to learn this from school and then replicate it back at home.
This type of farming is very important for the environment because it is cheaper for the farmer to get the locally used material. For example, to get compost, which we mix with dry matters to make what you use bokashi as the fertilizer. We deal with organic agriculture. Also, we share with permaculture, and also we work with AFSA. Biogardening innovations, in short, is BioG. Yeah, we call it BioG because some of our farmers are illiterate, so they can say the words smoothly and quickly. We train mainly in organic agriculture. We don't involve in synthetic fertilizers. So we use like making of bokashi, making of biostimulant fertilizers, making of bioinsecticides, which we use instead of chemicals. We don't promote chemicals. We always promote organic produced system of maintaining and managing the pests. Biogardening, we train farmers. After training farmers, we reach them at the community level. Through permaculture, we have a system of making the swales, and you can see at this garden, we have so many varieties of plants. We advise them to plant more than 5 varieties. For example, there is yams here, there is pumpkin, there is air potato, there is tomato fruits, there is pawpaw, whereby if you lose, if one of the crops doesn't perform better, you can get from another crop. The total number of farmers who are practicing are around 245, who are linked to the TOTs whom we have trained at BioG.
Yeah, I thank BioG so much because when they came to my school and they approached us to work with them, it was like an eye-opener to me. I never knew there's something like organic farming. Yeah, but it reminded me of something. When I was still young at my home place, we used to practice organic farming. Synthetic fertilizers were rare. Yeah, we used to harvest. In fact, we used to dig, or we used to do farming once a year. And when we harvest maize, we leave the small piece of land up to the next year because it was a lot. But when we started using synthetic fertilizers, a problem erupted. So I thank Biogy so much, because when I started learning, initially I didn't know, but when I started learning about it, I started practicing. That's why I offered to use this small piece land of mine, and it has really improved.
The project is an eye-opener to me as an administrator, and it is something that we should emulate as schools, so that most of the funding which goes towards food can do other development projects like infrastructure, and it is also enhancing the learning by the students. This could also be a very good component for learners, especially those with a disability, who may not progress well with their academic education in future. They can start small gardening, small poultry project, small animal keeping, to keep them busy, to provide for them something for a living, and even to provide food for them.